As many of you know, with the recent firmware update to 3.7, I updated a lot of my Line 6 Marketplace presets to utilize any of the new cabs kind of paired up with certain amps within the presets I have up there. One of my favorite new additions, and one that probably isn't spoken about enough, is the pairing of the Soup Pro Ellipse cab, which was added in 3.7. And that's a cab. Obviously, we can use it with any amp we want, but it pairs up naturally and quite beautifully with the Soup Pro amp model that we have in the Helix. A very unique amp model, and I really believe that's a killer amp model. It doesn't get as much love as it should, and I've said this before. Today, I'm going to revisit that amp model. We're going to take a look at this new cab, see what it's all about. What's interesting about this cab is they call it the Soup Pro Ellipse because it is actually an elliptical shaped speaker. It's a 6x9 speaker. So this is a one speaker cab with this 6x9 elliptical shaped speaker within it. And I think it just does a killer job at getting some really cool kind of edge of breakup and almost grainy cool tones that fit really nicely for certain styles of music. So I'm going to have the preset available today for free on my website, the one that we look at and make. And this is very similar to a single snapshot of my full-blown Soup Pro Ultimate Marketplace preset that's available on the Line 6 Marketplace. It has been updated. You'll actually get this with the original presets plus the 3.7 preset included. So you can pick and choose if you like the old legacy cab or if you like the new cab. You have your choice of it. Both are perfectly valid and sound great. I'll have the link below to that Marketplace preset. And later in the video, I'm going to play you the full-blown demo utilizing all the various snapshots from that full-blown Marketplace preset together in a full mix with a rhythm section. You can kind of hear how the various snapshots from that also contain a full array of effects kind of work together and how they sound when used in a full production. So without further ado, let's head over to HX Edit. We'll take a look and a listen to see what this new cab is all about when used in conjunction with the Soup Pro amp model. All right, so here we are over in HX Edit. We're taking a look at this preset that I was telling you about. If we go through the chain here, you'll see I have the Soup Pro amp. I have the new Soup Pro Ellipse cab that's just been added in 3.7. We'll take a closer look at those in just a moment. And you'll see I have my normal little signal chain that I start with my template that I always like to use. I have the LA Studio comp at the end with a peak reduction of 6, gain on 5, mix on 100%. And again, this is just dialed in for a very, very subtle effect at the end, just to kind of add a little bit of squish to the tone. And I really like what it does to the sound. We go over to the parametric EQ, and I'm actually using this a little more than I oftentimes do. You'll notice here in the mid frequencies, 435 hertz, mid Q of 1.4. I'm pulling that back by 2 dB just to kind of clean up some of those lower mids. Sometimes that's where some muddy frequencies can live, and if we take those out, it just kind of opens the sound up a little bit. I'm also utilizing this for low cut at 100 hertz and high cut at 10 kilohertz. I have a little bit of plate reverb on here set with a decay of 4.5, pre-delay of 15 milliseconds, low cut 90 hertz, high cut 4.6 kilohertz, and just subtle mix in there at around 28%. I have the normal low and high shelf EQ that I have in here, which really helps me to polish and shape the sound in just about all my presets. I love having this in there because it gives such a quick, intuitive way to really dial in anything we need for almost any situation. My settings for this were, as I oftentimes do, high frequency and low frequency, both set at 650 hertz. All the frequencies below 650 pulled back by 2 dB. All the frequencies above 650 boosted by 1 dB. Kind of subtle, but it does make a difference. I have a second snapshot set up here where I turn off all the sweetener effects and go with just the amp and the cab. So we can really quickly compare the two after the fact. Once I go through all the details here, we'll listen to it without these sweeteners and with, and you can make up your mind whether you like what this little sweetener section does at the end of the chain. Going to the amp, we have the Soup Pro amp with the drive at 6.5, bass at 1.7, the tone control at 5.7, treble at 5.5, presence at 5.0, channel volume at 10, master volume at 10, sag at 7, hum and ripple at 5, and bias X at 5, and bias at 6. onto the cab. Here is the topic of today's discussion. We have the Soup Pro Ellipse, the new addition to Firmware 3.7. I chose the 121 ribbon mic, but again, here's the choices of mics we could use with this. We have that new 84 ribbon that I did a video about recently. That's a very nice mic, but in this case, I just chose the 121 ribbon. We can get great tones out of almost any of these mics. It's obviously going to affect the other settings we have on the amp and the high and low shelf EQ and whatnot, but for this one, I really liked what the 121 ribbon was doing. On the cap edge, distance of 3.5 and set at 0 degrees. So let's do this. Let's turn off all of our sweetener effects except for our reverb here, and we'll hear what just the amp and the cab sound like together. See, it's a very responsive amp model. Sounds really, really nice. Really digging it. Now, the problem is, as would be expected, when we throw a ribbon mic on and maybe only pull it back a few inches, we're going to have that tubbiness, that muddiness. There's nothing terribly wrong with that, but I think it could use some polish in the mix, although we have that little reverb on. So let's come over here to the end of the chain. We'll add in our compressor. If I check how many dB of gain reduction that's using, maybe 1.5 when I'm hitting hard. Maybe as high as 2 if I really dig in, but I'm really liking what that does to the tone. Now, to take care of some of that maybe tubbiness and muddiness, we're bringing in this low and high cut and then adding in this little cut here in the lower mids. You can already hear this kind of come to life a little bit. Off. Already a little better. And then the magic comes in with this little high and low shelf EQ. So there's the finished product. Now, if we flip back and forth from the no effects snapshot here on snapshot 2, you'll notice I shut all these sweeteners off. It's just the amp and the cab. And then I'll foot switch between those. Watch for the little snapshot up here to switch to 1, and you'll also see the blocks come on. Even if I switch to the neck pickup. Middle position. Now, if we go to the neck pickup and switch to it without those sweetener blocks on, And there you have the finished product. All right, so there you have it. What did you guys think? I hope you enjoyed the sound of that tone out of the mix. As I said, there's a link below to my website. It's a free preset. You can grab that single snapshot just like you saw it today. But as I mentioned, that is a part of my full-blown, it's like a single snapshot, part of my full-blown Line 6 Marketplace Soup Pro Ultimate preset, which has multi-snapshots, full array of effects, dialed in just beautifully. I really enjoy playing through this, and I'd like to let you hear what this sounds like when utilized together in a mix. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed hearing it both in and out of the mix. As I said below, we have both the free preset and the Line 6 Marketplace preset links below. You can click on those if you decide to get the full-blown preset. I really do hope you enjoy it, and I do appreciate the support. It's what allows me to keep bringing you different educational videos about the Helix and the HX Stomp. So thanks again so much for tuning in. Please like the video. Share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thanks again for sharing your time with me. Ciao for now.